4 as he hits 50. Will this be a great individual goal from Kelly? It will be. Will it stay with his goal? Barry Will around the corner with the left boot from Ford.
Welcome to Community Bounce, the Community Footy Show. I'm Tommy Javor, your host this week, joined in Season 1, Episode 3 by two great men of the Glenunga Football Club. Firstly, let me introduce the captain, Alex Flex Harron. Welcome, mate.
Thanks, Tommy. Thanks for having us.
Why do they call you Flex?
Never heard that one until about 2 minutes ago when you told me that was my nickname.
Yep, that's what I call him. And Tom Butterworth reckons I'm terrible at nicknames, but I'm sticking with it. Flex. All right. And a man that probably needs no introduction. He's a three-time Ken Farmer medalist. And I've actually got a list of stat sheets we'll go over later on. But welcome to the show, Michael Wunke.
Thank you.
The man they call China Plate. He's your mate, except on the footy field, when you're no one's mate. Now, China, a few weeks ago you gave me a spray. You're not immune to giving a spray, are you?
No, I'm not. I'm old and angry now, mate. So, yeah, I'm used to be very, very quiet, but now very, very angry and old and fat. Slow.
Nothing wrong with not quite growing into your weight. I never did. I've got two amazing guests who I am going to obviously interview, do 10 with Tommy. They're going to take us through the Adelaide Footy League and the Glenunga story. Of course, Community Bounce is about all community leagues. There's 26 of them so far. We've stopped off at the River Murray with Mitch Noy, the Barossa Light and Gawler with Isaiah McKenzie with 6,000 views last week. Thank you so much to everyone that's viewed, liked and shared. The show doesn't exist without you. But this week, it's all about the Adelaide Footy League. Boys, if you could just allow me to, let's go have a little quick look at the Adelaide Footy League, because obviously it's very close to all our hearts. In Div 1, it's Prince Alfred Old Collegian starting to flex with an 8-goal win over Jeff Riddle's Spock. Trengrove, unstoppable, Jolly going into career best form. PNU ground out a 6-goal win over Unley. PNU, some big name recruits there. Boulderstone, Wilson, who didn't play on the weekend. Bartlett, who's coming back from a major operation last year. But it was Liam Davis, the big man up forward, former two-time premiership player at Nord, kicking 6. Just starting to work out Bodie's structure, I think, and watch out for Payneham in the coming weeks. And reigning premiers Goodwood and Rocks both sit 2-0. Watch out for reigning premiers Goodwood and, of course, Ross Trevor. This week, it's PAC and Rocks playing for top spot in the game of the round in Division 1. In Division 2, Alex, last year, how many games did you win?
Not many. None.
0. How many in the B grade?
None.
Yeah, okay. It was only Clarkie in the C grade that had a win last year. But this year, you are undefeated along with Henley and Foss, and we'll preview your game later on this week. Do you remember who you're playing?
Yeah, we got Shocks this week.
Shocks.
Looking forward to it.
At the beautiful White Picket Fence. Ever played at the White Picket Fence before?
I have played a school game on there.
Did you? Fantastic.
Yeah.
And that was Marrittville, was it?
At Marrittville, yeah.
Marrittville played Sacred Heart.
Yeah.
How'd you go?
Thirds. Sacred Heart, thirds. We had a win, actually.
Appreciate your honesty.
Yeah.
In Division 3, just quickly, 4 teams sit undefeated, which is unusual. Flinders Park, North Haven, Towns and Golden Grove. And your local football community expert, Tommy Javor, says all 4 teams will win this week. And in Div 4, my old mob, the Cats, take on Pembroke in the top of the table clash. Both teams, the only undefeated teams, play each other this week. It's an interesting look at the leagues, I think.
You got any other Div 2 results other than just worry about us, Tom?
You mean like the Div 2 reserve, perhaps, John?
No, just Div 2 results.
Look, there's
Not
plenty
all
happening in
about
Div 2 reserve. Henley are going to be very hard to stop, but we're going to focus on Div 2 a little later on. So, boys, it is time at the moment. We're going to take our first break of the evening. Before we do that, I'd like to thank the General Havelock Hotel where we find ourselves tonight. Did you have a meal tonight, boys?
No, afterwards. We'll let in.
We'll go down after.
Spend a bit of time here.
Dip that schnitzel in the deep fryer and see how we go. Of course, if you want your club, league or team on Community Bounce, it is very simple. Look down at that screen and hit up Rocky at piranhamedialive.com.au or by private message on our Facebook page. We'll be back after these important messages from our sponsors with an interview with Michael Wunke. Welcome back to Community Bounce, and it is time for our Country Living Homes interview. Thanks to Ravo for his commitment to community footy and his support of this show. I'm going to start with the captain of the Glenunga Footy Club, Alex Harron. Here's a bit of information about him. He's a Sturt junior who played 52 reserves games. He kicked 4 goals. It was 4 goals straight in his career. I'm not sure if you knew that or not. He never missed. 88% disposal efficiency, averaged 23 disposals per game, averaged 4.5 rebound 50s, rebound inside 50s, and averaged 82.5 Dream Team points How the hell do I have that information? I don't know.
I don't know how that's
not bad, is
I
it?
brought that in for you. So thank
Alex,
you.
tell us a little bit about your footy pathway, mate.
Yeah, it's a pretty straightforward path. I really actually started at the Goodwood Saints Football Club, so played all my juniors there, just across town from Glenunga. Made my way to Sturt. Sturt was just down the road from Mum and Dad's place, so toiled away in the reserves for a fair while, as you can see there. And then
Was there a reserves flag in there?
there was one in 2017. It was so.
Under
which
the
was
current
good fun.
spot coach Jeff Riddle, would that be correct?
Correct,
Yeah.
absolutely correct. So I think there was a spoon and a flag in my years there, which was good. A bit like my Glenunga time. From there, ended up at Glenunga because of a few friends and pretty much gone from there. So it's been good fun.
And current captain. Now, Mike Wonke, also a pretty impressive set of stats. I did my own research today, but right here I've got 3 times Ken Farmer medalist, drafted by North Melbourne, was there in 2008, 2009, played for North, South and the Eagles, bit of country footy. He's been an assistant coach at the Eagles and Sturt, without stealing your footy pathway from you, and also, I believe, 2-time VFL flag winner. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yep. Tell us a little bit about little Mike Wonke, who I used to hear so much about.
I'm a Walkerville, or Walkervillian, I think they call it. So, along with all of my brothers, and started there, played at North Adelaide, and debuted in 2007 under Jars at North Adelaide, and I think ended up playing 13 games in my first year there, and then
For 27 goals.
and found my way onto an AFL list, which shocked a lot, including myself. And spent 2 years over there, great years. I played in a couple of flags over there with North Ballarat, who were aligned to North Melbourne, and came home and went to South Adelaide and went to Eagles and played a bit of country footy, and now I'm here.
Fantastic, mate. I think there's a bit of footage of some of your great times in the sample as a 3-time Ken Farmer medalist that puts you in elite conversations. But one thing you mentioned was your time at North Ballarat and North Melbourne, and that's where the relationship began with the great man, our current coach, Nathan Grimer, isn't it?
Yes, it was. So we'd actually played on each other in a semi-final at Adelaide Oval, and we didn't know each other at the
He was,
time.
of course, at Centrals.
He was at Centrals, yeah. He'd come over from Tassie, and we didn't know each other at the time. So I got to the airport. We were drafted on the same day to North Melbourne, and I got to the airport early, and I went to the mobile check-in counters and plugged in my name, and we're under a group booking with another one of his Centrals teammates, Alan Obbs. So I thought I'd be the good bloke and print out 3 boarding passes, and the rest is history, mate.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Of course, appeared in each other's wedding parties, didn't you? Along
we
with
did.
Hamish McIntosh, who has also appeared at Glenunga this year.
Yes, he's played as many games as I have so far, which is good. But he was good, H. The boys loved him, and he's such a big presence, and
He's huge. Even for a tree, he's huge.
Although, and unfortunately, he started getting going a bit, and then his calf went on him. So, he suffers from old age as well. So,
And just with the flogs out there as well, because I've heard the rumours. So H, very good friends with, sorry, shouldn't have said flogs, but H, very good friend with China, and Nath, he worked over here, he played for us, played for free. Okay, so there you go. It's not all about money. Sometimes it's about friendship, culture, and a club. So really, it really impressed me. It speaks volumes of the person that he is, isn't it?
yeah, he
Absolutely.
helped us out a little bit, and we got off to a win, which was good.
Which is nice, coming off a winless season under Captain Alex Harron. Now, Flex, let's talk about Glenunga, the club itself, an amazing club. Tell us a little bit about the club history for those that wouldn't know.
Yeah, no, it's been quite a history, really. So we started off as Hyde Park, the Hyde Park Rams. So maybe we go back to that someday. I like that name. Started in 1961, as far as I know. Spent a bit in your early days. Yeah, you might have seen them around. But yeah, I think moved around grades a fair bit in the early days. Had some pretty strong teams, and then some not so strong years. And as of recently, I think probably only 10 years ago, we were sort of lingering a little bit.
Div 7, yep.
Div 7, nothing
And
wrong.
when did you get to the club?
Lingering.
Was it lingering in the
A little bit, yeah. A little bit after that, out of the Div 7 days. So I think I came along in 2018 when we were in Div 4.
Yep, coming up for premiership and then involved in 2 more premierships.
Yeah,
yourself.
so really just jumped on the bandwagon when we already won a flag. So
been a very big part of that rejuvenation of the Glenunga Rams. Now, a lot of people, and especially in the early days, Andy Reid came along with Michael McMahon, and there was a lot of scuttlebutt about they'll be there for a year and gone. Well, they're still there. They're still doing great things. But the key to any sustainable success is the junior program, and Glenunga has a junior program second to none. I'll just throw to you boys. Anything you can tell us about the Glenunga juniors?
You got it?
There's a fair few out there, I can tell you that much. If
Hard to get up with
you
space, isn't it?
try to get a
We've
car
got four
park
of
on
them.
a Friday night,
Yep.
good luck to you, because there's a few parents around as well, that probably 2 parents for every kid that seem to be there as well. So there ends up being 2,000 people at the Oval, which is all in good fun. But yeah, really good to sort of see the young kids coming through. We've had a lot of kids that played 18s last year come into the seniors, which is the first time that
Children
transition
playing in the
happened. So,
twos, and they go all
yeah,
right.
they go all right for you in the twos. If you let them play in the A's, they'll go well as well. But Tommy doesn't like to let them go. But
Javor Footy Factory.
yeah, 5% of the total
Yep.
SONFL juniors.
That is a stat I saw the other night.
quote me on
Over
that.
760 juniors at the Glenunga Rams, and of course with the under 18 and the halves going around, they're all kids. 5% of the total mass of sample juniors made up of the 70 clubs. So it's just a huge body. And I heard a quote from Ben Nelson the other night. Every Friday night is like my 40th birthday. He sees all his mates there, and there's a lot of big, high-profile names at the club. Your Rashudos and these types. But I want to throw to you now. You probably got to know him pretty well. Talk about a man named David Pittman and what he's done for the club.
Well,
You laughed at David.
he's sort of just in the background, isn't he? Like, he sort of pokes his head in and comes, and then you don't really see him for a couple of days. And but I just think, like what we've just outlined, it's just a true testament of putting the right people in the right positions.
Yep.
And you get results eventually. And you know, we've won. I guess I've watched my brothers win flags from Div 5, and just to see how much the club has grown, being an outsider looking in from Div 5 has been phenomenal. I mean, we haven't achieved anything yet in Div 2. We're just sort of getting started, and we're 2 games into a year. But yeah, we're heading in the right track.
Yep. Well, I'm here to interview you guys, but I just want to follow on from what you're saying there. And Glenunga truly is a family club. A lot of people pay lip service to that. But, I mean, just even things like we're setting up the toy corner for the kids at the moment. And you've talked about your brothers. They're all there. Sam was there. He's now back at Sturt, which we wish him all the best there. But, of course, we've got Nick the Roach and what's Fish's real name? James the Fish. So it must be a real thrill for you to you haven't played with Fish yet, but to have lined up with your younger brother Nick the other day.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I played with James prior. I've never played with Sam. Played against Sam. I've punched him a couple of times. But and Nick was the only one I hadn't played with. So it was great to finally play with him the other day, albeit at a windy Seton Oval. But yeah, it was obviously great, and hopefully, you know, one day all 4 of us will get to play together for the mighty Rams.
Yep. And it's great to see some of those guys who saw out the tough years, and there were some tough years still floating around. Our most capped player, do you know who that is, Flex?
Yeah, I reckon that would be a Del Cobro, one of them.
Yes. Kegsy.
Kegsy.
Yes.
Or Matt. Either or, it's probably Kegsy.
It is Kegsy, I believe. And he's had 200, I think he's on about 286 games, so he'll hopefully celebrate his 300 this year, and he's just he's a cornerstone of the club. I love Kegsy. He's great. But let's talk about some of the stars of Glenunga. Now, off field, you've got guys like David Pittman, Benny Stapleton, even Razor Ray. I mean, he's got to control that storeroom for 760 juniors, a B-grade coach renowned for theft, and a couple of hundred senior players floating around. Well, let's tell me about the star players. Who else is a star player at Glenunga? There's a few.
You probably just name all the
Probably
monkeys,
just-
don't you? You go through them, and
Are we talking off-field or on?
No, on field at the moment.
Oh, probably. Yeah, we got a few. There's a few. Not necessarily the monkeys, but
Don't be afraid to mention their names. Still have yours.
I'm a big Ollie Gasparin fan.
Yep, fantastic.
Only
18-year-old.
played, yeah, 18-year-old. Only played 2 games. Really, really important to sort of where we're trying to get to. So yeah, he's my personal favourite. But
yeah, some really good young kids coming through. So I know probably in the midfield playing with Tully Kennett recently, who I've really enjoyed. He's got an old head on him for a
Yep.
18, 19-year-old, whatever he is. But yeah, no, there's plenty of really good players out there.
Yeah.
Can't remember any right now. But no, there's plenty of
Andy
good
Reid's still one of my favourite, the old man of the
Yeah,
team
he's
these
got
days.
one, right.
I think Tom
Big
Langford
brick.
will find some really good form at some stage. He's only played 1 game this year, but he'll be very dangerous to other teams. We don't want to give away all our secrets. So let's talk about the other teams. There's plenty of stars floating around. Anyone impressed you in your first 2 games that you've come up against?
Scotch had a really strong midfield, I think.
Didn't they?
From-
5x sample players. I'm more of a names man than you probably just they set them up, you knock them down,
the
Flex.
same,
But Warwick McGinty, former Glenelg Rucken, was very effective, and they had a whole bunch of players. And for Seaton, I thought like Rochester's very good, Shane Harris, all good footballers. But this week we come up against Sean Tapp, former Glenelg player, very very good. Played some centre half back in the seniors there, so plenty of quality players amongst the league. Let's talk about 2021 so far. We have obviously I'm at Glenunga, so I can say we. With Seaton, we're over Seaton by 10 goals, Scots by 3 goals. But I loved your point, Chine, in the sense that we've actually achieved nothing at this stage. It's time for game of the round, and just happens to feature Glenunga against Shock. Now, let me take you through some stats, boys. Last time these two teams met, it was Sacred Heart 13-21-99, defeating Glenunga 4-9-33. This is a 66-point win with about 21 more scoring shots. That was the last time we were at the white picket fence. How do we hope to turn it around this week? Probably from a player's point of view and a coach's point of view.
Kick more goals, I think.
Kept him under 100 there, which was a positive for last year. That probably would have been a lowest score conceded. But I think it probably starts with pressure. We've shown in the first couple of games with the ball in hand, we've still got a lot of work to do. We've just kept teams to low scores by continually pressuring. It's all pretty straightforward what we do. There's nothing too exciting about it. And to be honest, I watched our game back from the weekend. It's pretty ugly, but we just pressured and eventually, win the ball back. So it's probably what we'll look to do this week, I reckon, and hopefully kick
3-0 would be a nice place to be, wouldn't it?
Would be nice,
Yes. Excellent. Now, and an amazing statistic, I believe, Alex, is in the first 3 rounds, you've had a phenomenal 26 tackles in the first 3 weeks. Is that correct?
It's 3, we've only played 2 so far.
26.
I don't know about 26 either, but yeah.
Was it 11 and 7? I don't know where I got. You're going to have 8 this week.
Yeah.
Is it 18 tackles in the first 2 weeks? Is that correct or not?
According to Peter, I think it's 14 and 6, but...
That's 20. Right, so I got it wrong. We've had 20 tackles in the first 2 weeks. Any chance you get the ball first?
Yeah, I probably need to work on getting it first. It shows you're a bit slow if you're tackling that much, I think. So
But tackling well, mate, and doing a great role, boys. Thanks for the interview. Now, we're going to be back. We've got plenty more to come back. We're going to be back with 10 with Tommy. We've got our Impact Player of the Week. We're going to have a look around at some of the other leagues and what's happened. So don't forget, hit up Rocky at piranhamedialive.com.au. We'd love to have your captain, your coach, your ball steward, anyone from your league. And we will get out to all those leagues. Your league and what you're for. We'll be back after these sponsorships. Welcome back, and thanks again to our great sponsors and, of course, our great viewers. Boys, it's time to get fast. It's time to get frantic. It's time for 10 with Tommy. Are you ready, boys?
Very.
Are you ready, mate?
that's how we go.
Anything you want to say to me?
Bit nervous.
Just nervous?
You got that wet look going on in the hair. Like, it's,
I knew we weren't going to get to it. So, what was it, sorry?
it's like gel or something.
Peaky
Peaky
blind.
Blind. I haven't seen Peaky Blondes, but that's what the boys in the B Radic call me.
Wear the
Peaky,
suit.
Peaky Jewel. I don't know. Boys, it's 10 with Tommy. I'm looking for a nice, fast, quick response. Anyone from Glenunga. It's not about potting them. Let's engage them and let's hear your answers. Favourite teammate? Flex.
Tom Campbell.
Gaspar.
Funniest club person?
Josh Orkin.
Orkin.
Yeah, I agree. Biggest pest?
Lincoln Bennett.
One of my brothers.
Yep. Right. Most likely to do push-ups on the mirror?
Also Lincoln Bennett.
Yeah, Bennett.
Most flatulent? Who cuts the cheese?
Oh, that's a tough one. No one yet. No, he probably.
Yeah.
Shock him with it. Yeah.
Best dancer?
Let's go young kid Wiz Fletcher Wiseman.
Can he dance?
I assume so.
You
He's
can
got good
dance.
I was
moves,
dancing
so.
on Saturday night. I was
I
playing with the
saw
kids.
you out the corner of my eye.
Yes.
I left straight away afterwards.
I forgot about it. Who has a hair product addiction in the club?
Oh, who's got any hair left? Probably sitting right here. Isn't it?
Yeah.
That sort of greasy look. Don't know what goes
Just
in
the
there.
schnitzel
Yeah.
greasing. Shot for a goal after the siren to win the grand final. Who takes it from the club?
Dylan Smith.
Dill Smith.
The back pocket.
One and
Worst fashion sense at the club?
Oh, it's a pretty bad one.
What's yours like? Yours alright. Yeah,
Alright,
you're good. Yeah.
Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Who?
Harry
Harry
Potter.
Potter.
Shocking.
He's a real beanie and singlet type operator. Doesn't know if he's hot or cold.
Yeah, I don't want to throw him under the bus. The coach has got shocking sense lately. I reckon ever since he sort of locked
Kid
down.
last
He-
night.
Yeah.
Full track
Do you know what he did
suit,
last night?
It's a bit
He took
cold.
his shirt off in the change and we're getting changed. He goes, "What's that, Joseph? What's that, Joseph?" And he goes, "I turn. Who are you talking to?" He goes, "Joseph Goodnick." You mean Goodnick? Serious?
He's in good
He's
nick.
in-
Yeah, I know he's in great nick. He's doing triathlons. How about you have a kick in the twos, Nani? Who would you absolutely not want to share a room with on footy trip?
Heaps of the boys from experience.
I only
Rogues,
do
probably.
single room. Like, I only book single rooms when I go. Yeah.
All right. In the world of reality TV, who's most likely to appear on a reality TV show from Glenunga?
I put Liam Bennett on a TV show.
Auckland?
Or I think
Yeah.
Auckland might have been on a couple.
confuse people,
yeah.
wouldn't he?
Yeah. Auckland or Pido?
Yeah. How to bake a brisket. How to sell shares. Now, once again, quick snap decisions. You can go first this time, Chine. Just want you to choose between the options. Steak or
Steak.
schnitzel? Steak or schnitzel?
Schnit.
Wheat Bix or Cocoa Pops?
Wheat Bix.
Weetabix.
Beer or cider?
Cider.
Gin.
Do you like gin?
And roach or fish?
What for?
Favourite brother?
Just depends what it's for, though. If you want a deep and meaningful, you go fish. But if you want to go out and drink piss, you get roach.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, I reckon depends on the situation. It depends if you're going to bed at 9 o'clock or 3 a.m. Fish for 9 o'clock. Right?
Yeah. Roach does his best work after
Yeah.
dark, doesn't he? Boys, it's been a lot of fun, the 10 with Tommy and the snap decisions to be made. Thanks. Well, we're just going to move on to our final part of the segment. It's the Impact Player of the Week. The Impact Player of the Week goes into the draw for the Impact Player of the Year. They win something, not this baby trophy that my late father-in-law won back in 1950-something, but Southern Trophy is a great sponsor. We're going to get onto them. And this week's Impact Player of the Week is a defender who made his debut in the A grade. He does, of course, come from my footy factory. His huge final quarter with 3 set marks was the catalyst in turning the game and turning a deficit into a victory. Congratulations to Jesse Temi. You are the Impact Player of the Week. Thanks again for watching, and thanks again to all our great sponsors. We'll be back with our final segment after these important messages. Welcome back to our final segment of the night. It's our footy landscape as we look around the other 25 leagues across the state. It's of course brought to us by Ryan Rebick.
Paving and landscaping.
There you go, Ryan. Even the big chime knows all about it. You can call Reb. I believe his ad will be flashing up even as I speak. He does a great job and is a great supporter. Let's have a look firstly at Hamley Bridge in the Adelaide Plains. They won their first game in, do you know how many days?
Oh, a few, I reckon.
1,737 days. Nobody beats Hamley Bridge 61 times in a row. They lost 60 in a row, but they won on the weekend, touched up United by 56 points. Hamley Bridge is a club formed in 1907, population of around 700. They field 2 senior teams and 3 junior teams. Congratulations. It's 78 k's north of the city. A great club. Of course, former club of Shane Hansen and Valor Thatch, who won the goal kicker and best and fairest awards in 2012. Well done, boys. You deserve every... I don't know, how hard would you go after... going 0 and 60.
Good to sing the song if they remembered it.
I think they'd still be half cut. Just on the Our Footy landscape, I want to thank the Sample as well, who've come on, who've given me permission not just to do the show, but they're going to allow us to use some of their graphics and some of their... they've got some big community footy news coming up, and they're going to be sharing it with us on our show. I can't say too much more than that, but I really appreciate the support of Matt Doldig, Zach Milbank from the Sample, who does a lot of the media, and Craig Robinson in the marketing department. So we really appreciate you supporting us as well. Finally, gentlemen, firstly, thanks for coming on the show. You've been outstanding.
Thanks for having us, Tommy.
All right. Hopefully this doesn't jinx us and we lose this week. But look, we've talked about Glenunga. It's an amazing club full of amazing people. But again, you need sponsors. And we've got some great sponsors, haven't we, boys?
Absolutely. They look after us well down there at Glenunga. So a couple of them, Ophir, TPC, PNR Electrical. I know Ray White Norwood look after us a little bit as well.
Arkabar is in there as well.
The Alma after a game on a Saturday are always good to us. So
Commercial partitions as well.
and
Thanks to them all, though.
We
yeah.
can't do it without
can't
them.
separate
right.
them really. So
It's been a long journey from Milan to Minsk. No, sorry, I've just gone on a Seinfeld side note there. It's been a long journey for Glenunga. When I started really following the club, they were in Div 5 and Reedy jumped on board with Mickey McMahon and some others, and it's been amazing to see and now be part of it. Some great people along the way. Boys, I can't speak highly enough of the club. Obviously, we love the club. It's been a pleasure to share the journey and the story. Any loved ones you want to send a shout out to before we go? Is there a partner out there?
You, Matt?
No, not at all. But no, it's not
Available?
partner Grace. No, Grace is out there. She won't be watching.
I did
it,
meet her the
I
other
think,
night.
but well, she might be. She better be watching it. But
She may have switched off by the final segment.
yeah, she's just sent me a text.
And John recently married.
I did, October 2019. Nathan was my best man at my wedding. So, yeah.
Want to give the lovely wife a mention?
Hello, Belinda. How are you?
Thank you
See
for
when I
watching,
get on.
Belinda. Belinda, don't forget to like and share this video. And thanks to everyone. Thanks to all our great sponsors. And if you want to be on Community Bounce one last time, don't forget to hit up that Rocky's address. And your club or your league could be on Community Bounce. It's been an amazing show. We'll be back next week.